a stranger. You can't see me. I am the stranger. Do you know what I mean?
That voice, it is unmistakable.
I am the stranger.
I've known Gord Downie for about 25 years. I'm a fan, devastated like so many others about the news of his cancer. Amazed at his performance through the summer's final tour. Hoping for the best, but knowing his condition is terminal.
Hey, I heard you were coming.
He hasn't given an interview since the news broke.
Thanks, guys.
He's had 2 brain surgeries, radiation, and chemo. He has MRIs constantly to track the cancer's progress.
Jump into the ride.
As a result, his memory is challenged. He writes key words on his hands to help him.
I got to your house this morning.
Reads lyrics from a prompter when he sings.
Just a little out tonight.
He's big on hugs and kisses, wants them with friends and strangers alike, on greeting and on parting. But aside from all that, he's still Gord Downie, adored by his fans and fighting to make his mark on Canada.
And we gotta be a country, it's gonna take us 100 years to figure out what the hell went on up there.
In his latest project, he's aiming to bridge the gap between Indigenous and non-Indigenous Canadians. It's his legacy project, The Secret Path.
This is what I want to do. Nothing else really matters to me.
We sat down in his Toronto rehearsal studio to talk about life, music, the tragically hip, and his legacy. That's real good. Okay. A lot of people want to know how you're doing. How are you doing?
I'm doing good. And I said that on purpose. You know, I'm doing good. Because I am. Everything sort of seems to make sense. I am learning how to do it because I've never done it before. And it's tricky. And but I have beautiful friends, you know. I've been so lucky, you know, living here in Toronto and being in the business I'm in. You know, I'm a very lucky guy.
On the treatment front, on dealing with the issues that are part of your life now, you've gone through a couple of surgeries, radiation, chemo, constant MRIs. How are you dealing with that?
Well, you just remembered all of it better than I did. My memories, which used to be my forte, and now I can't remember hardly anything. I have Peter written on my hand. I have a few things written on my hands. And I say that just to be upfront, because I might call you Doug, and I apologize in advance, but it's just because this is happening. Bugs me a bit, but...
Well, more than bugs you, that's the impact it has. We've known each other for 25 years. You've known your kids all your life, and you sometimes have to fight to remember their names.
Yep. Super drag.
Other than memory, how does it impact?
Pretty good. I think I got lucky with this. If it has to be terminal, then I got a good. I didn't get hit by a train, or it's giving me this long kind of way to do some of these things that I've always wanted to do. I'm grateful. It's so strange how things happen. We put my dad we'd gone to Kingston and spent 6 to 8 months helping get our dad to the door. And the next day, we're walking home, my mom and my sisters and my brothers, from a lunch in Kingston, and I just, it's like, wow, into this, you know, like passed out into the hospital and then figuring it out. Oh, well, that's why.
You used the word terminal a moment ago.
Mm-hmm.
Did you and do you see it that way?
Not really. You know, I don't know how it actually makes itself known, like whether I don't know how it deteriorates me, if you can use deteriorate as a verb. See, when I can't say a sentence like that, then I'll know something's up. Is deteriorate a verb? Yeah, sorry.
Well, people going through this, have good days and bad days.
Okay.
Right?
Yeah, that's me. Check.
This is a good day?
This is a good day, man, seeing you especially.
When you see people now, you want a hug.
I do.
And a kiss.
Yeah.
Why is that important to you now?
That was happening before, though, all this,
Yeah?
strangely, yeah. Yeah. I mean, yeah, my life was changing, and I felt everyone that hung in there with me all these years were still there. They didn't write me off or anything like that, and they could have. And so yeah, hug and kiss. My dad, Edgar, definitely kiss on the lips, yes. And me and my brothers taught a lot of men how to do it.
You mentioned about how you helped get, you and your brothers and your family helped get your dad to the door.
Mm-hmm.
Do you see the door?
Right now? Like, no. I mean, it's just the door where you can say, it's cool, man, you can go. Everything's cool, don't worry. I said it to my grandmother. I never forgot it.
Are you in pain?
No.
Is that because they give you something for pain, or that this is not an issue about pain?
I don't think this is going to be a pain issue thing. Like I said, I think I got lucky with this one.
Do you need to take a break? Do you want to take a break, or do you want to just keep on going?
I'm good.
It's good. And you haven't had to use your hands.
I know. Well, I can cross off Peter.
I figured that job. I put it in my pocket.
So we go through a summer where you and the Hip are on tour. And it's an amazing tour. With millions of Canadians watching on television, and live streaming, and what have you. What was happening there? Why do you think that was?
Like, I really don't know. And I didn't expect it.
Really?
And no, I don't think a lot of people did.
You know, sometimes when we try to analyze moments like that, we say, was it something about you and the Hip, or was it telling us more about all those people?
I think people, my hope, because I took full advantage of, I had 7 leather suits. Leather's not too cool, but I took my time. I played every other day. So far as a singer, it's just heaven on earth, you know. And all these sort of provisions were made for me, and I got to wear what, you know. Just every fantasy I'd ever had for a show was coming true, and so do the show. Sorry, what was the question again? It was
well, it was trying to understand in some way why the country reacted the way it did. You know, was it simply because They
Right.
saw you slipping away.
Right. I think they tune in thinking, what am I going to see? Not like, how bad's he going to be, or what? Well, maybe a bit of everything. A bit of, oh, I love that band, or I saw them once, or what's the singer going to, I don't know. But what I definitely prepared for was tune in, and I'm going to, in the first 30 seconds, you're going to see that this ain't about that. This is about, and the move I just made is just one of, I don't know. I'm not going to.
During the tour, you kind of had a prompter on the words, like the,
6 of them.
It's all right. You're not going to get me arguing against prompters, but you never needed that before, right? This was as a result of.
I always had a thing up front.
Yeah,
Forever.
with words.
Just more like, because if you're singing a very old and important song and can't remember the next but I hardly used it. Oh, this time was about my health. 6 of them is pretty. That's I for some reason, every line I just can't. It's like the worst kind of punishment that I've had to kind of, even though I'm getting a lot of, like I was basically been describing, a lot of benefits
Right.
from this. That's one savage kick in the pants. Nope, can't remember people's names and can't remember lyrics. Sorry.
Knowing that, did you ever think, I can't do this tour?
Oh God.
Did you see, like, the Paul and the other guys going, this is not going to work?
They were very, very helpful, very understanding, very like, don't worry.
What do you think the hip meant to those millions of followers that you had, who came out in different ways this year to see you and listen to you one last time? There was a connection between the hip and Canada.
Mm-hmm. I mentioned it a lot in lyrics. Is that sort of what you're getting? Yeah. But never, and I don't say this to my pride, but never nice. Never totally like, aren't we the best? Never. Because, I don't mean to hurt anyone's feelings, but as a kid growing up, like, what is it about this country that it's not a country? What is it? Can't tell. We got to figure out a way to really help out our friends up north, I'm not like putting it all on my death, but it's put me in a position where I can actually get some attention. As I said something at the show that really clung.
Well, Prime Minister Trudeau's got me. His work with First Nations, he's got everybody. He's gonna take us where we need to go. And we gotta be a country, it's gonna take us 100 years to figure out what the hell went on up there. But it isn't cool, and everybody knows that. It's really, really bad. But we're gonna figure it out. You're gonna figure it out.
At 52, I'm really, oh my God, I'm so sorry. You people living up north who can't be gotten to, literally, physically. So sorry.
And the sorry relates to the residential school issue,
Yeah, among that, yeah.
among others, but it's become the focal point of your latest project, Secret Path. The story of Charlie Wenjack, or Channy Wenjack. Why did this become something that you became so interested in and so concerned about and wanting to tell this story?
Well, my brother Mike gave me this sort of piece, one from the Macleans in '67, about a year after it had happened in '66, and it's just a basically sort of thumbnail description of a boy running away from the
residential school?
Yeah, that you're talking about, and trying to get home.
On a secret path, the one that nobody knows, and I'm moving fast on the path nobody knows.
This is the best thing I've ever done. And by best, I just mean it helps my heart a little bit. This is what I want to do. Nothing else really matters to me. Hi.
Good morning.
How you doing?
I'm okay. How are you doing today?
Pretty good.
Good.
A friend of mine, Kev Drew, asked me one day to make a record with him. He just wanted to make a record. And I said I would, but I don't think I have any songs. But the weird thing is that I'd been writing about Charlie. So we made a record, and it's an attempt to capture the feeling somehow of trying to get home. I mean, we can think about how little we think about up there, but it's unbelievable. And yet their resilience, their ability to survive that, but there's still, like they say, there's 7 generations to go to fix. These things don't just get fixed now up there. You know, a lot of places not getting better like we would expect. You know, well, everything gets better. Like getting a little bit worse. And so now we have the chance to build something that will allow us down here and them up there to realize that makes us a country. That's 150, well, the last 150 years aren't as much worth celebrating as we think. But the new 150 years can be a year of building an actual nation, you know, with, like, imagine if they were part of us and we them, like how incredibly cool it would make us, you know? And that's what's missing as we celebrate donuts and hockey over and over and over and over again.
I guess the question that I have is, when you say, we didn't know about this, nobody told us about this, there were attempts to tell those stories, but there was this question about, you know, how interested we were in knowing this was even a problem. You know, it all centers around the question about, are we racist in our attitudes towards Indigenous people?
I don't think we are. Racist, no way. Just no exposure. There's, again, a chance at a whole different world waiting for us. And I don't think we're racist at all. I think we would love to have this added to our country.
I had wanted to tell my brother's story. I wanted his life to mean something. I had no idea how I was going to do that. But I trusted, I knew that something would come about in time. You know, who would ever thought? Tragically hip.
As part of all this, you've created a fund. Mm-hmm. What are you trying to accomplish with the Gord Downie Fund?
Well, the Gord Downie Charlie Wenjack Fund, basically, we are hoping to bridge the gap, I guess, ultimately, between us and them, not up in heaven, but up north. And then the weird thing is I think everybody in this country cares about this. That's that's not me being prophetic. I think it's true. I think everybody just bugs everybody a little bit deep inside. Like, why can't we do anything? Because it's really friggin' big and huge and impossible to imagine helping, you know. But it could be just such a first great, you know, attempt from us. I'm not gonna stop. I'm just catching my breath. They're not gonna stop. I'm just catching my breath. I am a stranger.
I've only got a couple of questions left.
You can't see
Remind myself.
And they're really hard ones.
Yes. We've got a good level now. We can start the recording.
What? Wait, what?
What worries you now?
About
anything.
I want my kids to be good, you know? Want them to be safe and have a great long life and take what they need from me and leave what they don't. You know? Definitely leave what they don't. You know? Being a dad and being in a rock band, it's harder than it looks. But we tried. And we try.
What scares you?
Scares me. I don't want to die because my son's 10, my youngest son, Clemens, and that really scares me. Yeah, you know, obviously, but you know, but sure wanna, you know, sure want to do this right on the way out, so he's not worried. You know, he's not too worried.
You're fighting it though, right? You're fighting what's in front of you.
Yeah, for sure. Yeah, I can get more time. More time if I try this, I can get more time. Mm-hmm.
What will make you at peace?
Just doing things. So I've got, I don't know, 2 or 3 or 4 records sitting in the can. You know, the Hip are working, a record the Hip are working on.
So we could hear more from the Hip?
Yeah, to the point where it'd be like, Jesus, is that guy not dead yet? Canadians can be funny.
I guess part of fighting this is staying optimistic, staying busy.
Yeah. Yeah. Even being here with you, like, which I was really, really scared about, to be honest. Because I don't know what my... Yeah. I don't know what my brain's going to do. This has been great. I'm thinking about, you know, it's just thinking about other things. And just really able to talk, you know, with you. Not unlike Pearl does.
Charlie's sister.
The way she would talk.
As big as the world is, we're all connected in some way. You know, I don't know how, but I know that. You may be connected to somebody almost like a sister and a brother. And I think that's why Gord was connected to Charlie.
Do you feel connected to Charlie?
Of course. I think everybody, if they just hear his story, will. You know, I think that's what people who see his story, read it, they do. I've heard that a lot. People that just can't shake it.
Are you resigned to the direction this is heading?
I am resigned to the direction this is heading, yes. I am. I really am. And because I can see it and feel it not doing some good, but it's creating, it's creating something. And
An opportunity.
an opportunity, I guess, and they just don't come around too often. And yeah.
Does that make it easier to deal with what you're going through?
Yes, for sure.
Until the next time, Gord.
I love you. I'm just gonna
Love
say
you
that.
too.
A little kiss.